They always have these banners. And one of these banners, they had the hand of a Hamas operative, kind of a clenched fist. Yeah. And it was noticed that there was actually 6 fingers on the hand.
Rabbi Jason Sobel, we always call on you for deep, penetrating, outside-the-box prophetic insights. And man, do you have one. Obviously, Rabbi, Gaza in the headlines right now in a major way. There's a history of evil in that strip of land hugging the Mediterranean coast, and the Nephilim that some may know about, some may not. But talk about what you've been seeing, Rabbi, in Gaza lately, vis-a-vis Hamas, and links to those ancient demonic figures, I guess we would call them, the Nephilim. Yeah,
there's something really interesting. So at one of the recent hostage exchanges, which have been just horrible how they've treated the Jewish hostages in the return ceremonies. And at one of the return ceremonies, they always have these banners. And one of these banners, they had the hand of a Hamas operative, kind of a clenched fist. Yeah. And it was noticed that there was actually 6 fingers on the hand. And so, of course, Israeli media picked up on it, and they were making fun of Hamas, saying, you know, they need to do a better job checking their graphic, completely unprofessional. Someone made a hand with 6 fingers on it. Yeah. And it struck me that I don't think they would make that mistake. So the question is, there has to be a deeper allusion to something. And so I began to think about it. And so the first thing that struck me, one is it could be actually a political message. So what's interesting is that there is a Hamas charter, and Article 6 of that charter talks about the desire to destroy Israel and how the banner of Allah will be raised over the entirety of what they call the land of Palestine, meaning they'll wipe out the land of Israel, destroy the Jewish people. But I think there could be something deeper on a spiritual level. So what's really interesting is this, is that some of the giants, the Nephilim in the Bible, are described as having 6 fingers. Yep. Now, why is that interesting? Because when the children of Israel went in to take the land, at first the spies went in, the 12 spies sent by Moses, and they would not go in and take the land. They came back and brought a bad report. Why? Because they saw giants in the land.
We're like grasshoppers in their sight.
Yeah, like we're like grasshoppers. There's the giants, fortified cities to the heavens. No way we're going to be able to take it. The land is good, but... And so that generation died in the wilderness. Well, eventually under Joshua, they do go in and take the land. Yeah. What's interesting, in Joshua 11:22, we read how the children of Israel wipe out the giants, the Anakim in the land, but they were not able to wipe out the giants in Gaza. Wow. So this is so significant. Yeah. The Nephilim, that spirit was never disposed from Gaza and that region.
And it's an evil spirit.
And it's an evil spirit. It's potentially one of the reasons why God brought the flood in the days of Noah, because preceding the flood account, we read about how the sons of God, which many think are angels, came down and had relationships with the daughters of men and gave birth to these individuals. And many believe that the Nephilim, the great giants of old. And so if you connect that passage and see that as Nephilim and connect it to the flood, and the reason why God brought the flood on the earth, as we talked about before, because God saw there was Hamas, a spirit of violence in the world. Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, so will it be in the days of the Son of Man. And so the fact that God wiped out the world because of the violence of Hamas, there's this organization called Hamas that wants to wipe out the Jewish people. And the fact that that spirit was never deposed from that area when Joshua went in and took the land, that I believe is part of the spirit and the evil that is behind this organization, whether they realize it or not. And that's why it's been such a stronghold throughout the years for the Jewish people, and hence the 6 fingers in that banner could actually be sending a secret message, whether the hidden message, whether they fully understand it or not, that it's that same spirit today that is behind the message and the motivation of Hamas to wipe out God's chosen people from the land and to recapture it.
Rabbi, absolutely fascinating, and it makes a lot of sense. Needless to say, that's been cursed ground for century upon century, and you're the first one who shared here on TBN that Hamas literally translates to violence.
Yep.
Hey, last question, about a minute and a half left. Hebrew Letters and Numbers, your great book. Tell us more about it, the significance for the time we're living in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we talked about the number 6. Well, we have this book, Hebrew Letters and Numbers, and in it we get into the spiritual significance because Hebrew is alphanumeric. Letters are written with numbers. So for example, 6 is the letter Vav in Hebrew. You write the number 6 with the letter Vav. There's no Roman numerals in the Bible. And so we get into that in this book. So for example, 6 is the number of man because God created the world in 6 days and he rested on the 7th day. Well, 6 is the number of the physical world. Anytime you say something 3 times in a row in Hebrew, it means the most. Holy, holy, holy. Isaiah 6, again another 6, the angels cry out, means most holy. So 666 is the number of man. It's the number of physicality because creation in 6 days. And so 666 is complete materialism devoid of all spirituality. It's all earth disconnected from heaven. That's why it's called the mark of the beast, because if all you're trying to do is pursue your physical appetites or desires, you're nothing more than a beast. And that's part of the reason for 666. And we get into the significance of the letters and numbers. It's a devotional book on the letters and connection to the numbers. And if you're interested in letters and numbers, if you want something that's going to take you deeper into the word, Hebrew Letters and Numbers, it's a great read.
And we can pick it up Amazon.com,
where
books are sold.
And HebrewLettersandNumbers.com or Amazon.com. Yeah, thank you.
Rabbi, great stuff. Fascinating as always. Faith building as always, folks. And if you want more great teaching like that, be sure to check out God's Appointed Times, hosted by the one and only Rabbi Jason Sobel, every week right here on TBN. Rabbi Jason, we appreciate it. God bless.
God bless you.
Stakelbeck Tonight, my all-new nightly series on current events through a bold biblical lens. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching, and God bless.